right, good morning. We are reconvening. This is the parole board. We are reconvening. We are at St. Charles Nelson Correctional Center on Thursday, April 6th, 2023. It's 9:11 a.m. Would the staff there in St. Charles introduce yourself for the record?
Good morning, this is Deputy Boudreaux, St. Charles.
All right, thank you, Deputy Boudreaux. Thanks for accommodating us this morning. And I'd like to ask the offender, please introduce yourself, tell us your name and DOC number.
My name is Oley J, and my DOC number is 410789.
Sir, Mr. Autin. Let me just read some identifying information into the record. I'll ask you to confirm it. And your case has been assigned to Mr. Freeman, who's seated to my right. He'll take the lead on the interview. Can you hear me?
No, ma'am, I can't. Hold on.
Okay, is that better?
Yes, ma'am, I can hear you now.
Okay. I'm going to just read some identifying information. Mr. Autin, you're classified as a fourth felony offender. You're currently serving an 8-year sentence. You were sentenced in St. Charles for home improvement fraud. You received 2-year sentence, placed on probation, that was revoked. Lafourche Parish contractor misapplication of funds and theft, and then in Terrebonne Parish, sexual battery. You have a parole eligibility date, which was August 11, 2022. You don't earn good time. Full term is June 25th, 2024. Does all that sound correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Would you answer Mr. Freeman's questions?
Okay, Mr. Is it Mr. Autin or Austin?
No, it's pronounced Autin.
Autin. Okay,
Yes,
Mr.
it's
Autin.
French, yes.
Okay, how old are you?
I am 57.
Okay, and how long have you been in prison on this charge?
Since October of 2016.
You've been in prison approximately 7 years?
Yes, sir.
Okay, and how long was your sentence? 18 years?
No, it was 8 years.
8 years, okay. So y'all almost finished.
Yes, sir.
Okay, tell me about these contractor the stuff where you went to put in the generator, never was done. You went to do work for a lady, never was done. I mean, what was going on? Why were you getting into these contracts and then not completing?
Because I was locked up before I could finish the job for the charge I'm over here on now, for the sexual battery charge. I got locked up before I can finish the jobs.
Okay, did you even start the jobs?
Yes, sir. I did start them, and then I never got to finish them. But then my wife paid. There was some money that had to be paid back, and my wife paid everything back. Everything was paid for in full.
All the restitution has been made to these victims.
Yes, sir. My wife's here now. She can verify that.
Okay. Well, tell me about the incident that you're in there as far as touching Miss LaBeouf.
There was a lot of argument between all this. I spoke my piece. It wasn't the way it seemed to have been at the time. I went ahead and I took the charge for the 8 years because they said that if I didn't accept the 8 years, that they would multi-bill me for 20 years. So I didn't want to take a chance with the parole, with the
Well, just tell me what did happen. I mean, obviously, y'all did have some contact that night. And
what happened we were at a party that night, and she had gotten drunk on. She claimed that I touched her with her clothes on. Obviously, there was no. But I told them that I didn't do it. They had no fingerprints. They had nothing show that I did do it, but it was just the what she accused me of doing was not like that. It wasn't that way. It wasn't at all that way. It wasn't even close to it. I was actually trying to help her. I'm the one who brought the garbage can to the side of the bed for her, and so she could throw up in it. My brother-in-law was there, you know, and they said I was in the room when I wasn't in the room. I was actually in the bathroom at the time. There was a few guys over there, and she just said that it was me that did it. And she claimed that it was I that did it, and she saw my company name on my shirt, and she didn't even say the right company name that was on my shirt. But
Did anything happen between you two? I mean, y'all were drunk and y'all were partying and
we're drunk, we're partying, and all I did in there was
think that y'all maybe having a relationship that night.
No, there was a few people at the party over there. It wasn't everybody there. What I should have did was listen to my wife, and when she said, "Come on, let's go home," and I didn't. I should have went home, and I didn't. But
Okay,
I learned
any
my wife's
particular
right.
pants, any particular reason that your pants were undone and your belt was undone?
That wasn't so. I wasn't that way. I came out of the bathroom buckling my belt. My pants wasn't even undone. I came out the bathroom. I wrote a letter to the judge and explained it to him. I was coming out the bathroom whenever the guy that owned the house was coming out the bedroom where the girl was at.
Mhm.
But I don't know if he was in there. I didn't see him in there. I just heard her screaming when I was in the bathroom for him to stop. And then it was his house, and he threw me out the house, and he told the cops that I did something. Accordingly, she said I grabbed her on her ass or something like that. There was no.
Have you ever been on supervision, parole, or probation?
I've never been on parole before, no, sir. I've been on probation for drinking.
Completed that probation?
Yes, sir, I did complete my probation.
Have you ever received any treatment for your alcohol problem?
I did AA meetings when I was home for what my probation wanted me to do. And when I was done with probation, I screwed up and went back to drinking again. But something now that I know I don't want to do anymore, because I know that every time I drink, I tend to get in trouble. I tend to, get behind the wheel of a vehicle when I shouldn't be, and I'm just lucky that I've never killed anybody because of that. But I do know that I've been before I came here to St. Charles, I was in Terrebonne for 5.5 years, working with the sheriff and the colonel over there, and there was a lot of alcohol around that place. A lot of alcohol easy to get to and stuff, and I've never had the desire to even touch it anymore. So I've been alcohol free since I've been locked up. Not because it wasn't available, it's because I made that choice. And
How do you plan on staying sober when you get out? What's your sobriety plan?
that lady, that's right. This wife I got right here is going to make sure that I stay. But I found the strength to do it. I know I can do it because, like I said, it was in front of me for the first 5.5 years when I was in Terrebonne, and I never had a desire to touch it. So I want to be finished with it. I don't want it anymore because I know that when I'm drinking alcohol, I get in trouble. I have grandkids that I haven't seen yet, and I plan on spending time with my children and my grandchildren, and a lot of time with my wife. I just want to do the right things. I want to go fishing. I don't want to drink. I think my alcohol days are over with. I'm too old for all this. I'm too old for this jail stuff.
I will tell you that alcohol days are never over with. You will always be an alcoholic, and it's out there in Louisiana, and it's going to be in your face all the time, and you're going to need help.
So I got my wife to help me, and
You ever thought about AA and NA?
yeah, my cousin actually runs the Easy Does It Club in Houma. His name's Bobby LeCointe, and I plan on spending some time with him. I do want to stay away from it. I don't want to drink anymore. I don't like the outcome of it. I don't even like the smell of it anymore.
Where are you gonna live?
As of right now, my wife's at my mother-in-law's house. I'm gonna stay over there until come home, and then we're gonna purchase a house in Houma, and we're gonna just keep running my business like I was doing before. I do electrical, air, heat, and refrigeration, and I'm gonna continue doing that.
Okay, looks like you took some classes, victim accountability, which is a good class. Anger management, risk management 1 and 2. What did you get from these classes?
Well, the lady that was teaching the class, her husband is an electrician as well, and I know him very well. And she basically, made sure that I learned everything about the classes, and I learned a lot through all the classes, other than the FDIC. Because when she was teaching me that, I was like, wait a minute, we don't do checks anymore. We don't write checks. But I learned a lot from all the classes. Besides the classes, I did AA classes in the jail with a couple of guys when they would do when they did the little church sessions and stuff in the between the inmates. There was also a few of us that did AA. So I had the book, I went through the book a lot, and you learn a lot from reading about other people and the way they screwed up in life, and a lot of it reflected on me. So being sober now, I know that it's something I want to stay that way, and I can do it. I've done it like I said, the alcohol is available in Terrebonne because I've been a trustee since day one through the whole thing. And
Yeah, I looked at your status. You've done well as a trustee. You've had 0 write-ups. That's good.
I'm a good guy, man. I really am.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Really
Well,
good guy.
we'll talk about that another time.
Okay.
Over a Coke, not a drink.
Yeah, exactly. Yes. I'm ready for that.
Anybody in the room with you?
Yes. Mr. Boudreau and Ms. Kim is here.
Okay, Mr. Boudreau, either one of y'all want to make any comments regarding Mr. Autin?
You can hear him? He said, would you like to make any comments regarding Mr. Autin?
Hello, good morning.
Morning. We'd just like to know if y'all, your take on Mr. Autin, if y'all have had any problems since he's been there.
He has no write-up since he's been here. He's been a great guy too. He's been a trustee pretty much since he's been here. He hasn't given us any issues.
Thank you, sir.
You're welcome, sir. Thank you.
Okay,
Yes, sir.
did you take any sex offender classes? Didn't pass.
No, that was something that Renee then teaches, but she had told me that I asked her about it, and she said that she had spoke with DOC, and DOC had informed her that that they didn't need any more classes from me.
Okay, I have no further questions, Ms. Renat.
Mr. Rushay.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Good morning, Mr. Autin.
Good morning, sir.
When Mr. Freeman asked you about your supervision history, you said that you've been on probation, but you've never been on parole, and that you pretty much did very well when you were on probation, right?
Yes, sir.
So why were you terminated unsatisfactorily, which is negative, in 201? In 1999, you were convicted and sentenced to 2 years probation for theft. He was placed on probation and it was terminated unsatisfactory.
I don't know. I don't remember that. In 1999?
It was terminated in 201 for 1999 conviction for theft. And I want to know why it was terminated unsatisfactory.
I don't remember. I don't even remember
let's try this one. You were on probation for home improvement fraud, and you were revoked in 2016 because you had a conviction for sexual battery.
Yes, sir.
Well, you don't remember being revoked? I don't know what you said. You told Mr. Freeman you had never been revoked.
For the home improvement fraud, you said?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I was paying on time every time, but when I got.
But what I'm saying is because you committed another felony, the sexual battery, they revoked that probation,
Okay,
okay?
yes, sir, I understand.
Inform you that the DAs in Terrebonne Parish submitted a statement and they said they are strongly opposed to your early release. And the DA in St. Charles Parish, Mr. Chasson, stated that he is strongly opposed to your early release. And one of your victims said that you still owed $1,800 in restitution. So you need to check on that.
My wife, okay, which, do you know which one it is? For the home improvement fraud?
He asked to be not mentioned in this particular hearing, but one of your victims has submitted a statement saying that he would like. We can get the probation officer. And we can get the probation officer to identify that person.
I don't mind paying anybody that I owe. I have no problem with paying anybody any money that I owe. That's not an issue.
Thank you.
Mr. Autin, I have just a quick comment or question. When you were talking to Mr. Freeman, you said you did go to AA meetings and then you screwed up in the past.
So I'm sorry, it broke up the sound.
Told Mr. Freeman that you in the past, you did go to AA meetings and then you messed up and started drinking again. Is that what you said?
Yes,
Is that because you quit going to meetings?
I actually had gotten my 1-year chip. I stayed in there for a while and then,
And after you quit going is when you started drinking again.
yes, ma'am, I did, yes.
Just trying to make that point so you recognize the meetings are helpful.
They are, it actually did help me when I went. My cousin's pretty adamant about making me listen, and I'm sure he's gonna make me listen again because I plan on going to see him and I told him I would.
Okay, let's hear from your wife, Ms. Darnell Autin. Ma'am, what can you tell us?
Hi.
Go ahead.
Alcohol was a problem. But I know he's gotten older now and he has a lot of kids and grandkids that he hasn't seen. And I think if he can listen, I think he can do good. I don't see it to be a problem.
Okay. Well, thank you. We appreciate you joining us today. Mr. Autin, is there anything you want to say to us before we vote?
I just want to say thank you for giving me the opportunity to speak to y'all and that I really have changed a lot. And I know that I can do what I'm supposed to do when I go home. I know I will do it. If y'all give me the chance, I just want to go home and love my family.
All right. I think we're prepared to vote. Mr. Freeman.
Okay, Mr. Autin, I believe, Ms. Renata and, Mr. Roger, pointed out to you, just like I'm gonna point out. I feel you do have an alcohol problem. I feel we need to take care of this problem and it would do away with a lot of your other problems. You have good support from your wife. which is very good. My vote today would be to grant your parole under the conditions that you follow all of the rules of the sex offender contract, which will mean going to classes on Saturdays. Pay any restitution that's currently owed. Okay, the probation officer will check it out with the victims to see if they have been reimbursed for their losses. Okay. And that you obtain a substance abuse evaluation, follow any of its recommendations, and you attend 3 AA meetings a week. It's my vote.
Mr. Rocha?
Mr. Otan, my vote is the same, a conditional release under the same conditions as stated by Mr. Freeman.
And Mr. Otang, I do agree. My vote also is to grant with the special conditions that Freeman went over with you. Good luck to you, sir.
Thanks.
And that concludes our business in St. Charles. We'll adjourn. It's 9:32. Thank you, Mr. Boudreaux, for accommodating us.
Mr. Boudreaux.